Hey guys, this is Catalyst 385, and I normally post motorcycle stuff, but today, because of necessity, I'm skipping out on bikes and I'm working on my wife's 2002 Volvo V70xc. The reason I've got it all torn apart today is because the oil catch in the PCV system is completely chock full of oil deposits. It's causing the crankcase to not breathe properly, which is making the idle fluctuate all over the place. It's just running like crap, and I'm changing this out now to hopefully avoid blowing some seals and things like that. Very common problems with Volvos, especially this turbocharged 5-cylinder like the one in her car. Now, oil deposits, what I'm talking about, and you guys are probably somewhat familiar with these, is this hard, porous carbon deposits that form inside the crankcase. Now, this is a result of pressure and heat and overextending oil intervals. You know, never using. I'm sure that the lady that had it before us never used any type of cleaner or anything like that inside the crankcase, and this stuff is just disgusting, and it's completely clogged all of these small little passageways inside the PCV system, and probably other things as well. Just to give you an idea, this is the unit that I've pulled out here, and you can see, like, right around in here, it's just full of just nasty, sludgy carbon deposits left behind by the oil. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is, you know, this is a common problem, but this is the result of a lack of maintenance on this vehicle. Probably overextending oil drain intervals. It's a turbocharged engine, so it's a lot rougher on oil. There's a lot more pressure and heat inside the system as a result. Oil wears out faster. It causes it to oxidize. When oil oxidizes, it leaves behind oil deposits like this. Now, that becomes a problem when they start to clog up things like this PCV system. They can also plug, you know, all sorts of other little passageways and cause premature wear and component failure eventually. Now, in terms of maintenance, I just wanted to give you a quick comparison of two systems here. The oil system, the crankcase, which hasn't been properly maintained, as you can tell by the repair that we're doing right now, and the fuel system. Both petroleum-based fluids, both prone to some of the same sorts of problems. Only the fuel system, I've had a chance to actually run some cleaners through. I've had the car since last November, and since then I've run 2 cans of BG44K. It's a tank additive fuel cleaner that's an industrial strength. You can only get it at car dealerships, and it does a really good job. It's an aggressive cleaner that does a really great job of cleaning up old baked on carbon deposits in the fuel system. Now, just to give you an idea, this car has 115,000 miles on it, and if you look in here where I've got the intake open here, check out the intake valves and the ports going down to them here. I mean, they are brassy, shiny, perfectly clean. Normally on a car like this, when you pull this intake off and look down at those intake valves, they are going to be completely chock full of carbon deposits. Those hard porous deposits soak up fuel. They cause the engine to run lean. They restrict air and fuel flow, which causes you to get problems like rough idle, hesitation, hard starting, pigging, things like that. Just general power loss, higher emissions. It just leads to a whole bunch of different problems because your engine is just so far out of spec, having to account for all these carbon deposits that are soaking up fuel. Now, basic maintenance, just cheap, $20 can of fuel cleaner every 10,000 miles or so can keep these things perfectly spotless and clean. Okay? Now, if this lady would have done this with the crankcase, the engine itself, I don't think I'd be in this situation right now. But like I said, this is a common problem. One of the things that you can do to prevent this is to use an engine type cleaner. The one that I recommend that I've had a lot of good luck with in my other vehicles is BG EPR. And what that is it's a cleaner that goes into the crankcase. You run the car for like 20 minutes with the RPMs raised, and it liquefies those carbon deposits, holds them in suspension in the oil, and when they change their oil, the oil in your car, they're going to get a lot of this nasty stuff that I'm digging out of the engine right now out with the oil. So leaves behind a clean surface. It's usually treated afterwards with an oil additive called MOA, another BG product that works really well. And what that does is that just puts a layer over the metal components. It keeps these kind of deposits from sticking to them, keeps them from building up in the future. Like I said, I've had really good luck with this stuff. I've used a lot of their different products. And if you want to avoid situations like this, I would recommend that you do it. If you want to find a shop near you, like I said, this is not something you can buy in a parts store, but if you want to find something like that, you can go to a website called bgfindashop.com. You can type in your zip code, and it brings up a list of dealers and independent stores near you that have all this kind of stuff. And I would recommend, especially with the fuel and the oil cleaner, every oil change, if you can manage it. If that's a little too expensive, then I would say every other oil change. And that'll prevent you from being in this situation that I'm in right now with everything all torn apart. But thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you later.